Every jiu-jitsu practitioner has heard the old adage, jiu-jitsu saved my life. But what does it mean, and how does it happen? Not in a literal sense. I'm sure we've all heard stories of people who use the skills they've learned on the mat to save their own lives in altercations. Or the stories of people who made major positive health changes by adopting a jiu-jitsu lifestyle. I'm speaking more in the emotional sense, the psychological, the spiritual sense. There are people out there who may have been lost souls, wandering this plane of existence searching for a purpose had they not found jiu-jitsu. Some of us connect to this thing deep, at the root. What is it about jiu-jitsu that connects with us? Is it the sense of community? Is it the potential danger of its combative nature? Is it the mental and physical challenges that it presents? Whatever it may be, it has helped countless people battle depression, anxiety, PTSD, and other mental health struggles.
I did not expect it to have this kind of influence on my mental health, because I work out regularly, and you know, when you're working out at a public gym, it's just not the same. Like, sometimes it's hard to kind of make those anxious thoughts go away when you're just working out at a public gym.
I've been able to immerse myself within it, and it's helped me to be able to deal with like life on life's terms, basically. And I did not expect a martial art to do that for me. So, and then the people that I've become close with here, I have never expected to have them in my life as long as I have, and to want to continue to progress and have something to look forward to within it.
If you're struggling with mental health, if you're struggling with physical health, or any of that aspects, jiu-jitsu is a place to be, especially when you find a place like 10th Planet Rochester that's accepting, conscious, considerate of those aspects, right?
The benefits always outweigh the sacrifices, but you have to be ready mentally to take both feet and jump in.
The more I learn about things like depression and mental health and everything of that nature, anxiety, etc., jiu-jitsu does several things for me that if you just do any homework or talk to any provider, they're all going to say positive, 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 right? One, it gets you moving. It's very tough when you're in a deep depression or dealing with depression. The toughest part is taking that first step, I want to say. Getting up out of bed and getting yourself on an elliptical, getting yourself moving, right? Your body's going to naturally release, I think it's dopamine or endorphins, you know, I'm no doctor, but chemicals into your brain that are going to make you feel a little bit better, right? Help start to get that seized engine moved.
The military, the military teaches you how to be at peace within chaos. They don't really teach you how to be at peace within a time of peace. So when I came back, my surroundings were peaceful. I was at home, or I had a job. I was around family, but like up here and like in here, I wasn't at peace. It was just complete chaos.
I feel like everyone gets those anxious, intrusive thoughts, and when you come to the gym, I feel like everything just kind of shuts off. You really can only focus on this, or at least I can. I don't have the capacity to focus on much else when I'm here.
If you come to a place like this in jiu-jitsu, you can't be thinking about the 4 or 5 people that cut you off on your way to work or leaving work. You can't think of, oh crap, I spent too much on Amazon with my credit card, and I gotta figure out how to make another $80 just to cover groceries.
When you get on the mats, all of that goes away.
Because when you hit the mat and you're trying to drill techniques, you do 2 or 3 things wrong, you've gotten choked. You've gotten arm locked. You've gotten knee locked. You've got foot locked. all those things happen in real time. And if you're not 100% dialed in, you're not going to be successful in that.
Even just that sense of, you're rolling with one of your partners and you can feel that something's off with them, and vice versa. And just taking that second to look at him and be like, hey, you good, man? For a couple reasons, right? Like, jiu-jitsu, you don't want somebody not paying attention while you're rolling. That's dangerous, right? So you're checking out for two reasons. You're checking out at one for the fact that I need to know if we're live rolling that you're with it, you're focused, you're here in that moment with me, right? Because if you're not, that person or yourself is at risk, right? A wrong move one way or another, a wrong twist just because you're unfocused, and bye-bye knee or something of that nature.
And you're going to feel it. And it's real time. Like you know it when you're walking out the door. You know it the second that it happened while you're sitting on the edge watching 2 or 3 other people in their rounds. And I think it really forces people to stop all that outside stuff, restart, and then when they leave, it's almost like they took a nap for an hour at home and now they woke up, okay, nothing's bothering me. How can I make better decisions? How can I alleviate some of that anxiety, some of that stress? To then turn it into hey, I'm dealing with this and I'm being successful with it.
Even outside of the gym, you're looking up new moves, you're looking up escapes. You think about your drilling, you think about your rolling, and it takes up space in your brain that you might have reserved for those kind of anxious thoughts or those depressive thoughts that creep in. So it just kind of keeps your mind busy, and especially when I'm here, rolling, if someone's like on my back or something, I'm not thinking about, something I might have been sad about earlier that day or something I'm fearing in the future. I'm thinking it keeps you present, keeps you thinking about the moment that you're in, and even after you leave the gym, you're still thinking about those moments and what you could have done differently.
You come on the mats and that all vanishes for the hour or two that you're here. And you're able to basically escape that reality. And then when you get off the mats, you feel like this burden that's off of you. It's like this sense of relief. It's like weight off your shoulders. And you're able to approach those problems with a much clearer mindset. So you may have acted a certain way that probably wasn't within your best interest before you came to class that night. So let's say you get in a fight with your husband or your wife, and you're angry, and because you had a bad day at work or something, you leave, you say, I'm gonna go do jiu-jitsu. You come back 2 hours later, you're gonna come back completely different. There's this aura it's gonna be, you're gonna be a lot tired, so we won't even have the energy to argue or bicker about. Just seems kind of not worth it anymore. And so if I can go through that each day by what I was getting out of putting a needle in my arm, if I can do that by just coming on the mats and able to handle life a lot better, I go to 12-step meetings. I used to blow up in meetings, blow up before I started training. There's so many people that compliment me on how much calmer I am and how I'm able to handle situations a lot different without lashing out. I'm able to handle people being disrespectful a lot different. I'm able to handle my own personal life problems in a much different manner.
It's brought back a piece of myself that I thought was lost, and I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to get it back, if there was ever going to be an outlet like that again, if there was ever going to be a sense of camaraderie. And really just with jiu-jitsu, being able to come to a place where you can completely surrender your ego, put that aside just for the sake of being focused on developing and learning new skills and knowing you're in a safe space to fail, and seeing that progression and growth occur. I don't know if there's a better thing in life for you. As a guy, I think that's part of the issue sometimes for me. You know, I'm expected to, at least as I was raised, to be the fixer, to have the answers. To not be an emotional wreck, to be that stable rock that everything can crash upon. And here I don't have to be that. Here I can come in, I can surrender that ego, I can learn, I can ask questions. I don't have to be right all the time. And I just get to, whether it's for an hour of fundamentals class, I can come in and get hyper-focused on one aspect, one thing, and it doesn't matter for that hour what else is going on in the world. I'm here, and I get to focus on that. It gives you sometimes that mental break that you need from life and from society to come back and digest what's going on in your life at that time. Whether it's family issues, whether it's stresses at work that I've got going on, whether it's, you know, any myriad of things that can hit you.
A lot has happened in my life outside of the gym. Like I would equate this place is to physical therapy, because for me, jiu-jitsu was a way to slow everything down. Kind of like everyone talks about how cool the Matrix was, you know, when that came out, and everything kind of slowed down when Neo sped up. For me, when I was here, I felt like I could slow down the whole outside world with everything that was happening for me, whether it be with the girl I was dating at the time, financially, the apartment or the roommates I had, what was wrong with my car or family, all that stuff. When I came in here, slowed down. And through training, it sped up my thought process to make better decisions when I left here. The people that continue to struggle with it, I feel, just haven't found their niche as to how to deal with it, right? Because for me, dealing with it, I came here. I put myself in physical and mental stress that needed split-second decision-making. And then I would instantly get gratification from, hey, I made the right decision, or I would get ultimate disappointment, and hey, that was really silly what you did, and now it hurts a little bit because of it. So that was my way of going from struggle to deal with. And when you're in the dealing with category, I would end up building off of those endorphins when I left here. Like, man, this was a really good day. I felt like I got a great exercise in. I cleared my head of all that drama that I came here with, and now I can walk outside. Okay, now I can sit down, I can look over my budget, see where I miss, see where I'm spending too much, see where I need to save more. It gave me a couple minutes of clarity driving home to say, hey, I just got in this argument with my girlfriend. Where did I go wrong in my communication path? Stuff like that. And I don't think enough people get that sense of clarity or that moment to get a fresh start so late in the day.
The driving force that I've seen for those that have had success with their development, it's always been the same, which is those are the folks that are willing to put themselves in bad situations consistently until they no longer fear those situations. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in 6 months, and it doesn't happen over a year. It's usually like these folks that are dedicated to bettering themselves are making a commitment. It's a lifestyle commitment. And those are the folks that really reap the best rewards, those that commit to the lifestyle. You know, jiu-jitsu doesn't stop when you leave the gym. It carries on down the hallway, out into the parking lot, into your car, and into your home life, whether it's home with your family, whether it's with your coworkers and your employers, is that it's a constant practice. Jiu-jitsu is every moment of your day. Now, to some people that might scare people off and seem, oh, it's all consuming, but it's not. It's the philosophy that's really the important part of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is based on economy, emotion, and efficiency of movement, meaning our strengths come from the fact that we can yield when pressured, all right, and redirect that pressure. And putting yourself into those lab-like environments where you're pressure testing yourself on a constant daily basis does something for an individual. I've seen people that have walked through these doors that seem timid, meek, unsure of themselves, and on the verge of worse things happening in their life, to seeing strong, confident individuals that carry themselves with pride, that have a better understanding of themselves through jiu-jitsu. Those that have accepted what their weaknesses are, and then those with the willingness to work on them. And I think it's a very important part of the process of jiu-jitsu that seems to be the component that helps most people that are willing to work on themselves.